I was talking to someone a few weeks ago. Smart guy, talented, full of plans. He said, Sophia, 2026 is my year. I can feel it. I didn't say anything, but I thought I've heard this before. Hell, I've said this before. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Years don't change people. People change people. So today, we're not giving you motivation. We're giving you the uncomfortable truths that will quietly decide who moves forward in 2026 and who stays exactly where they are.
Let me start with this. Why do you think motivation feels so powerful, yet fails so many people? Because motivation feels like movement, even when nothing is moving. Think about it. You watch a video, you feel charged, you write goals, you promise yourself this time is different, but nothing actually changes the next morning. Motivation is emotional. Life is not.
Exactly. Motivation shows up when things are comfortable. But 2026 won't be comfortable for most people. Let me tell you about my biggest failure. 3 years ago, I wanted to launch a podcast. I waited for motivation. Weeks passed. Months passed. Every time I didn't feel ready, I told myself I was being strategic. Truth was, I was just waiting to feel good. And real progress rarely feels good in the beginning.
That's the trap. People think motivation comes before action. In reality, action creates motivation. You don't feel like running, then go run. You go run, then feel like a runner. The solution: build systems that work on bad days.
So here's the shift that changed everything for me. I stopped asking, do I feel like doing this today? And started asking, what's the smallest version of this I can do, even on a bad day? Not the perfect routine, not the intense grind, just something so small, it felt almost stupid to skip.
That's systems thinking. A system doesn't care how you feel, it just asks you to show up. 20 minutes of focused work beats 2 hours of motivated chaos. And here's the deeper part people miss. Systems reduce decision fatigue. When you don't decide every day whether you'll show up, you conserve mental energy. That energy compounds.
Motivation burns energy, systems save it. And in 2026, energy management will matter more than raw effort. But here's where people get stuck next. They build systems around the wrong things, which brings me to something uncomfortable. Chapter 2. Skills matter more than passion. Passion without skill doesn't go far anymore.
Yeah, passion is common, skill is rare. Everyone wants to create, everyone wants freedom, everyone wants growth, but very few people want to stay bad at something long enough to become good.
I've seen this play out 1,000 times. People say, I love this, but love disappears when feedback comes. When nobody claps, when progress is slow, skill stays.
Let me give you a real example. 2 people start learning video editing. In January, person A watches tutorials every day, feels inspired, learns 10 different tools. Person B picks one tool, makes one bad video every week, posts it, gets feedback. By June, person A is still learning. Person B has 24 videos, a small audience, and actual clients reaching out. That's depth versus breadth.
The solution: one skill long enough to matter. The biggest mistake people make is trying to learn everything. In 2026, breadth will confuse you. Depth will save you. Pick one skill that solves a real problem, improves with repetition, makes you slightly uncomfortable, and stay with it longer than your excitement lasts.
Let me add something practical here. Skill building isn't about talent. It's about deliberate repetition with feedback. Not just doing the thing, but noticing what's not working and adjusting. That's why doing things publicly or practically matters. You don't grow in isolation.
Exactly. Skill grows fastest when ego is removed. If 2026 had one unfair advantage, it would be this: the ability to stay a beginner without quitting. But even if you build the skill, most people will still get stuck because they're working hard in the wrong direction. Chapter 3. Hard work without leverage leads to burnout. This one hurts, especially for people who've been grinding for years. Hard work alone doesn't guarantee progress anymore.
Because the world doesn't reward effort, it rewards outcomes. And effort without direction just makes you tired.
I remember a phase where I was busy all day, 12-14 hours. No breaks. At the end of the month, nothing had changed. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't productive. I was just occupied. Sound familiar?
That comes from effort that resets every day. You work hard, you stop, everything resets to zero. No carryover.
The solution: direction first, then leverage. Before working harder, people need to pause and ask, is this still relevant next year? Does this skill increase my leverage? Or am I just staying busy to feel useful? Hard work should amplify direction, not replace it.
Think of it like this. Effort is fuel. Direction is steering. Without steering, more fuel just crashes you faster. In 2026, thinking will be as important as doing.
And once you have direction, you need leverage. This changed everything for me. I started asking, how can today's effort help me tomorrow? That's leverage. Writing something once that helps many times, learning something and documenting it, building something reusable.
Leverage doesn't mean shortcuts, it means alignment. Even small leverage compounds over time. And in 2026, compounding beats intensity. Let me tell you what happens when you ignore this. Burnout. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet kind, where you're functioning, but empty.
Yeah, and most people don't realize they're burned out until it's too late. They just think they need more discipline. But discipline without leverage is just slow exhaustion, so we've talked about systems, skills, and leverage. But there's one more trap people fall into. Chapter 4: Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Let's be honest, people don't lack information. They lack movement.
Consumption feels safe. Execution feels risky. That's why people stay learners instead of builders.
I see this every day. Someone spends 6 months researching the perfect strategy. Another person starts messy, adjusts weekly, and has results in 3 months. Clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from doing something and noticing what breaks.
Most people are waiting to feel certain, but certainty doesn't come first. Movement does. The solution: one input, one output. Repeat.
Here's a simple rule that changed my life. For every piece of content you consume, produce something small. A note, an idea, a practice. Learning without output is mental entertainment. Action creates clarity.
And here's the most important part. You don't need a year to figure this out. Take imperfect action for 30 days. No restarting, no rebranding, no quitting. Then reflect. That's how clarity forms.
If someone is listening to this right now, hoping 2026 will fix things for them, what would you tell them?
I'd say this: 2026 won't reward the person who felt the most. It will reward the person who moved the most. The one who built skills on Tuesday when motivation died on Monday. The one who chose one direction and walked it, instead of researching 10 paths. The one who turned effort into leverage, not just more hours.
The year won't change you, but if you change how you work, how you think, how you build, the year won't matter. You'll be different anyway.
And that's the only brutal truth that actually matters.
So here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing from today, just one, not 3 goals, not a vision board, one system, one skill, one direction, and start tomorrow, not when you feel ready, tomorrow, because 2026 isn't waiting for you to feel inspired. It's waiting for you to move. What's the one thing you're committing to? Drop it in the comments. Let's build in public.